So we come down to the second qualification heat for Senior Max. 31 competitors in this one. Groups B and C, so after this one it will be Groups A and C in battle a little bit later on. But the lineup is as follows. Charlie Turner from the United Kingdom and Kai Hunter make it a British front row. Behind them will be Bradley Barrett in the 307. Alongside will be the 301 of Sweden's Matilda Olsson from Scorpio Racing. Jordan Brown-Nutley makes it 4 Brits in the top 6 with Philip Vava from Spain in the 360 alongside. And we then have Elia Galvanin from Italy in the 376 on 7th position. Alongside will be France's Andreas Hebert. We then have Teddy Clinton and Mick Knowlton rounding out the top 10 ahead of Itsuki Sato and Patrick Rundqvist rounding out the top 6 rows. Guilherme de Oliveira is in 13th ahead of Zombo Kovac. Mads Ries up into Senior Max this year. Rasmus Friedel rounds out the top 16 ahead of Niklas Schöll, Laszlo Zueva, Dorian Heinrich, Laurie Lepai, Henri Young, Fabian Bock, and of course Britain's Sam Harrison, who has other hobbies in the form of skiing and has been racing since 2014. Favourite track is Paul Fletcher International, which is the one track that we know of that only has a bridge. His ritual before the start is to visualise it. He starts in 23rd position. Alongside he will have the number 330 from Finland, Una Oksanen, Lucas Horschman and Ehad Turka round out the top 26 ahead of Robin Knutsson, Mikael Tigelsen, Julian Wertela, Finn Gersit starting all the way down in 30th position, and Max Karlanen from Team Finland in 31st and last position. 10 minutes plus an additional lap to go in qualifying heat 2 for Senior Max. Groups B and C set to go into battle here at the home of champions. The red lights are on the showing on the gantry. 10 minutes set on the timer. The drivers, all 31 of them, now head into the tram lines. Will we go lights out? Yes, we do. Great hole shot there from Charlie Turner. Looks like Brad Barrett's gone trying to go with to go into second. That pushes Kai Hunter a little bit wide, who goes back up the inside of the Brit into turn number 2. Olsen sticks with, and now, who was that going up the inside of Philip Vava? That was Jordan Brown-Nutley, so the Spaniard and the Brit battling away already. Mick Knowlton looks to have made up a handful of places already. Looks to be 7th. Could that be 6th by turn 7? Yes, that is, for the Dutch driver, who was vice champion in last year's Euro Trophy Senior Max class behind Hannes Morin, who's recently been racing in TCR Scandinavia with Brink Motorsport. So we wish Hannes all the very best of luck in his tin top career. So at the moment, it is still Charlie Turner ahead of Kai Hunter leading the way. Brad Barrett looks to be... Now, where is Brad Barrett at the moment? He's down in 5th. So he's been just overtaken by Philip Vava from Spain. He's got Mick Knowlton breathing down his neck going into turn 2 at the moment. We've had a bit of a coming together a little bit further down the field, around about sort of 12th, 13th position. It's too wide. This could get very dicey if someone gets pushed off at turn 4. So at the moment, Charlie Turner continues to lead. He had a 6/10 of a second advantage over Kai Hunter, who has closed the gap significantly. And Knowlton is definitely still trying to keep in touching distance, but he's ahead of Matilda Olsson. She's dropped down into 7th position at this early stage, but with the caliber of that young Swede, she is a formidable competitor here in Senior Max, and it looks like we're going to have a good move from Laszlo Zueva, maybe on Niklas Schöll or even Mads Ries, I think, there. So Elia Galvan, in the meantime, has dropped significantly down the order. Now down into 16th position is the Italian, who's currently running on the X-Free chassis. So this is the first time that we've seen Elia compete in the Rotax classes here. And there's a great battle. This battle at the front of the field has just absolutely exploded. Charlie Turner's just lost out 2 places. I think that's is that Jordan Brown-Nutley at the front? Yes, it is. So it is Brown-Nutley leading a trio of Brits. That looks to be Charlie Turner in 2nd, Kai Hunter in 3rd, Philip Vava is with them. Then it's a little bit of a stretch further back to Mick Knowlton, who's got Matilda Olsson not that far behind. So Nutley leads, Charlie Turner second, Vava in third. Well, it was third until Kai Hunter had something to say about that going into turn 2. The Spaniard retaliates going through turn 3, makes the move stick, but no, I think Kai Hunter's having absolutely none of it. And whilst they've been battling away, Mick Knowlton and Matilda Olsson have caught them up. And behind them, it's Brad Barrett, Andreas Hebert, and Zsombor Kovac battling away. The positions are changing hand over fist. As Fava's really trying to force the issue with Kai Hunter, who's now retaken third position. Top 2 starting to break away. So Brown, Nutley and Turner leading the field. They were split by just over half a second last time out. And behind we've got Zsombor Kovac, who's got past Hebert from France in the 3:27. So Brown Nutley leads Charlie Turner by about 0.2 of a second on the completion in this lap. We're now on to lap number 5 as Kai Hunter is fending off the young Spanish matador in the form of Philip Vava, who's gone up the inside of the brick going into turn 6. Hunter immediately retaliates and gets the slingshot switchback out of that. Knowlton's gone up there. Oh, and he's tangled with the Spaniard. The pair in the barriers off of turn 7. Knowlton went for it, and I don't know if there was enough of a gap, but that's, I tell you what, both have rejoined. Mick Knowlton's having to wait right until everyone has gotten past. So Knowlton and Vava, two very clear casualties there. I'm just trying to keep an eye on where Vava has rejoined. So Vava went for the move on Kai Hunter. Hunter retaliated. Knowlton thought, you know what, if you're going to go up the inside of Hunter, I'll have you as well. Well, he went up the inside of Vava, and unfortunately, the pair clashed horns, so to speak, and it didn't go in the favour of either driver. So Brown Nutley continues to lead, nearly 2.5 of a second separates him and Charlie Turner. Kai Hunter rounds out a top 3 for the Brits. Matilda Olsson now back up into 4th position. Brad Barrett in 5th place. Hebert, Kovac, Rundqvist, Friedel and De Oliveira round out the top 10. 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go on this particular encounter. There's a great 3-way scrap a little bit further down the order. That's probably behind. Just going to keep an eye on who that is battling away, because I've just seen the 3:14 of De Oliveira come past. And I think if I see the 3:51 of Itsuki Sato there, who's just crossed the start-finish line. Itsuki running with the Danes racing team. And behind they've got Zueva, Teddy Clinton, Nicolas Scholl and Laurie Lepai battling away. There's some great moves happening. And it's all being played, it's being done firm but fair. So we have just over 4 minutes to go. Top 10 at the minute is Brown Nutley leading by 0.3 from Charlie Turner. Kai Hunter in 3rd place. Matilda Olsson trying to close the gap and did a 55.107. That's her best lap of the race so far, and she was nearly 0.2 of a second quicker than Kai Hunter. So the 3:01 from Uppsala in Sweden closing on the back bumper of the Brit in the 3:95. So Zsombor Kovac has got past Hebert from France to now take 6th position. So some good moves happening up and down the order. Some other positional changes. Nicolas Scholl in the 3:16 now up into 13th behind teammate Laszlo Zueva from Hungary. Elia Galvanin now in 18th position. Robin Knutsson up into 22nd. Philip Vava has rejoined and is behind Lukas Horschmann, who is in 24th position at the minute. Finn Gersitz up into 26th, having started in 30th position. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, it is starting to concertina slightly. So Brown Nutley leads. Same sort of distance between himself and Charlie Turner. But I'm just keeping an eye. Well, we've just had a 5-second time penalty given to the 3:04 of Mick Knowlton. It's not really going to do anything to his race, but that was the race stewards determined that Mick Knowlton caused the collision between himself and Philipp Weber going into turn 7. But the fastest lap of this race, last time around, and one of, by my count, only 2 drivers to go sub 55 seconds, is the number 395 of Kai Hunter, who's done a 54.927. Matilda Olsson is actually 13/100ths off of the Brit in terms of lap pace. Patrick Rundqvist is another one that's gone sub 55, done a 54.997. And I'm just keeping an eye on what's happening between Matilda Olsson. She is closing the gap on Kai Hunter. Last time around, she took just over a 1/10 of a second out of the Brit. And that's getting incredibly close going down into turn 7. 1 minute and 13 to go. Plus the additional lap. As Olsson is closing on Hunter, but in the meantime, when you think about who's slowest out of the top 4, it is not Jordan Brown-Nutley, it is Charlie Turner in second position. He's done a 55.2 last time around. Kai Hunter did a 55.145. Matilda Olsson was the fastest of the top 4 with a 55.032. Top 4 crossed the line now. And again, Olsson is the quickest out of all 4 of them. And she's... Now, has she taken that? Oh, she's taken Kai Hunter. She's got past him. So the Swede now up into 3rd position. 29 on the clock remaining, plus an additional lap to go here in this second of 3 qualifying heats for the seniors. Top 28s will automatically qualify for the 2 finals tomorrow afternoon. So Brown-Nutley has kept the distance between himself and Charlie Turner to around about sort of 3 to 3.5 of a second throughout the race. Timer has now expired. The last lap board will now first be seen by Britain's Jordan Brown-Nutley on the 3:02 from Strawberry Racing. Then it's Charlie Turner, then it's Matilda Olsson, then it's Kai Hunter. Bradley Barrett, a little bit lonely there, is the Brit in 5th position, having started in 3rd place. Then we have Patrick Rundqvist in 6th place, ahead of Zsombor Kovac, Andreas Herbert, Guilherme de Oliveira and Rasmus Friedel rounding out the top 10. That's just ahead of Laszlo Zueva from Hungary and Itsuki Sato from Japan, who round out the top 12. Uno Oksanen from Finland now has got past Elia Galvanin for 19th position. Philipp Weber now resurges back up into 21st after that altercation between himself and Mick Knowlton. But, ladies and gentlemen, the checkered flag is going to wave, and it's going to wave for the British driver in number 302. That's Jordan Brown-Nutley. Charlie Turner takes 2nd. It's 2 for Strawberry Racing in the top 3, with Matilda Olsson taking 3rd place. Kai Hunter in 4th ahead of Brad Barrett, which put 4 Brits in the top 5. Rundqvist makes it 2 from Sweden in the top 6, finishing in 6th position in the 3:58 ahead of Zsombor Kovac. Guilherme de Oliveira, Andreas Herbert and Rasmus Friedel rounding out the top 10, with the biggest altercation coming between Philipp Weber and Mick Knowlton, and Knowlton getting a 5-second penalty as a result of that. But when it was all said and done, Jordan Brown-Nutley wins Cinemax qualification heats 2, groups B and C, by over half a second from Charlie Turner at the flag, with Matilda Olsson bringing it home for Strawberry Racing in 3rd position. Kai Hunter and Bradley Barrett made it 4 Brits in the top 5, in 4th and 5th respectively, ahead of Patrick Rundqvist, Zsombor Kovac, Guilherme de Oliveira, Andreas Herbert, Rasmus Friedel rounding out the top 10. The next 10 drivers were Laszlo Zueva, Itsuki Sato, Teddy Clinton making it all the way up to 13th ahead of Laurie Lepai, Nicolas Scholl, Mats Ries rounding out the top 16, Mikkel Tiglersen in 17th ahead of Fabian Bock, Philipp Weber, Uno Oksanen, Elia Galvanin, Dorian Heinrich, Robin Knutsson, Henri Jung, Lukas Horstmann, Max Karhunen, Finn Gersitz, Julian Wertele. Sam Harrison finished unfortunately down in 29th. ahead of Ehad Turka and Mick Knowlton, completing the 31 strong, all separated by 22.2 seconds at the end of that race.